Good afternoon for the first time in HRL history, ladies and gentlemen. HRL, of course, stands for Humour Racing League. It's hosted by Harry Ryan. So without further ado, let's get going. Now, we had a one-shot qualifying there, you'll have seen. That was because we had some major issues and had to restart the session post the actual short qualifying. We actually did a pretty good lap there for fourth. It was more of a safe thing than anything else. Didn't want to get any corner cutting in one shot, obviously, because that's you at the back of the grid. Anyway, a collision at the first turn of the league's history. And let's see what happened here. I'll go in slow motion. You can see the Force India out wide. We are 3 wide at this point. He must lose the rear at some point because he comes shooting across the track, smashing into Harry Ryan in front of me. That's the host of the league, of course. Unlucky for him. We actually did make contact. We indeed got a warning for it, but somehow escaped wing damage. I thought I had some, although couldn't really tell. At the time I got caught out by Stingray, who started at the back, managed to avoid the melee, but he definitely did cut the corner to get past. So that was a bit concerning on his behalf. Force One leaves the session. He was one of the cars in front at this point. Unfortunately for him, I think he was leading. So as you can see, right in front there's a ghosting car. That is the disconnected Toro Rosso. So up to fourth for us. Next is Pure Contrast, his teammate. And I just braked a bit too much there and cut the corner trying to avoid him more than anything. That was unfortunate. Wouldn't be the last time I did that though, this race. Spun out there was a Renault Alex. He was in second at the time, so that promoted us to second and third in this battle here, Contrast and I. He left me a bit of a gap there. It was good racing room, but I'm on the wrong side to take advantage of it now, and he should be able to slip in front. And indeed he does. I'll have a look down the inside at this next turn, but I won't do anything too rash. Yeah, he had the line covered. Moving on, it's now lap 8 and we have a DRS failure.
DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix.
And that was just when we were catching Stingray. So that was bad luck for me. I ended up pitting at the end of lap 10. Tried an undercut, but I'd fallen back without that DRS. I hoped that it may have actually fixed it in the pit stop, but it didn't for quite a while. Indeed, it was back by the time we got to lap 12. So now I was able to attack Contrast with a bit more ferocity, and thankfully this time drawing level before the braking zone and out-braking the Toro Rosso, leaving him some space there. He was still present on my outside. He's still actually on my left. You can just see him in the mirrors. We might have to go down the inside here. We can't take the apex, but we've left the perfect amount of room, and that was one of the better moves of the race. One of the few moves actually had to make. Anyhow, the next straight we found ourselves defending because obviously he's not outside of a second yet, and thankfully we were able to defend the inside into the first complex and maintain that second place. Force One here. Now his car desynced. This is not him, especially if he was lapped. I know he wouldn't do that. We came across him a few times though, so we had to watch out and keep on our toes. Stingray was in the pits. He started on the supers, so he was now on ultras. We did take the lead briefly in that period. Of course, he was going to be much faster and didn't come out too far behind. I'm not sure if there was any contact there, but I felt something. Certainly a little bit of lag going on here. We had some international competitors in this. He goes for a very aggressive move, misjudges his braking zone, and isn't able to keep the lead at that point. It was only a matter of time before he managed to get past, though. It seems that he was running a little bit less downforce than me, and obviously those ultras going to give him a massive traction advantage. And around the outside he goes. I was pretty happy with this. Second place on my HRL debut. Not so bad, especially with the sort of luck I've been having at Russia. I had a little brief look down the inside here, but I was pretty confident it wasn't going to work, and indeed Stingray maintains the lead. Now I said we're going to encounter Force One a couple more times, and that was a bit scary. I didn't think he was in a ghost for a second, but I thought that was my wing over and done with. Again we had to deal with him. Very strange. I was aware that wasn't him because I was talking to him in Friday chat at the time. Either way, first ever HRL race, second place. Not that many finishes unfortunately. Force One, staying till the end, managed to pick up 6th place despite being 2 laps down, I believe. So there you go. Congratulations to Stingray finally winning a race on this game. We'll see you next time for Spain.